Hi everybody and welcome to a new video. In case you've never seen one of my videos before, I'm Kim Miller and I have a Instagram or sort of presence, I guess, social media presence called Rainy Day Rags. I do a lot of lifestyle and fashion stuff and travel, so typically I do vlogs, but today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do just a styling video. If you enjoy vlogs or if you want to see more styling videos like this, please do hit the subscribe button or leave me a comment. Any feedback is helpful. I am new to the YouTube thing, so I really appreciate any feedback you have. I'm not somebody who shies away from color or pattern. I really like very bright colors, punchy colors, and I like a lot of pattern. And I have been really interested lately in mixing prints and patterns and kind of learning more about the art of doing that because it's scary to do that, but I love a statement outfit. I'm not somebody who shies away from a look. This video is going to be about mixing prints, and I am trying to kind of think about fall outfits when I do this, so keeping it more in that color palette and thinking about slightly warmer clothing because I live in Seattle and it is a very dreary weekend. It's our first really fall weekend, so thinking about those outfits that are going to transition into fall. I'm going to offer, I think, 5 combinations. All of them are fairly classic combinations. I don't think anything in here is crazy. Some of the looks are going to be very accessible to people who are maybe not as into statement looks or mixing prints and colors and patterns. And some of them are probably going to be a bit more out there, but it's just inspiration. It's just an opportunity for you to see how to do this, and I've really enjoyed looking at how other people do it, so I hope that you enjoy these outfits. I want to start with this outfit because it is the outfit that got me into mixing prints and patterns. I think I found this outfit combination or this print pattern combination on Pinterest. I just remember seeing it and thinking, I love that combination. So I ran out, I found the skirt. I've gone through several different black and white striped shirts. I think I've owned this skirt for a good 6 or 7 years. And I just basically recreated the outfit to the best of my ability with the pieces that I could find. And that was really great, but I think one of the important things, especially when you're learning about mixing prints and patterns, is to get a handle on some of the guidelines and principles behind why certain things work together and why they don't, because then that allows you to go from seeing something on Pinterest or in this video and saying, I want to wear that. Great, go do it if you want to. But understanding the principles allows you to kind of create your own vision without having to mimic somebody else's style. And it lets you play with your wardrobe a little bit more. So, you might be like, oh, I really love this graphic print, so I'm gonna go out and find that exact graphic print and I only wear it with this exact other print because that's the only thing I know and I don't understand why it works. I just know I like it. If you understand why it works, you can take those pieces and you can remix them with anything else in your wardrobe that works for them, that you like, and you can create all your own outfits. So it's a copying somebody versus creating your own. So that's why we're gonna talk about some guidelines. I think this outfit is a really great example of one of the key principles that I think you need to keep in mind when you're trying to mix prints and patterns, and that is the juxtaposition of angular versus round prints. So a round print, something like a floral skirt, juxtaposed against a stripe or an angular print creates visual interest. But because I have a clear delineation between the prints and patterns, there's also areas for your eye to rest on. So that's an important principle in design. You want to create visual interest by creating juxtaposition, but you also want to create boundaries and places for your eye to rest. So it's not too busy, it's just the right amount of interest, but not overstimulation. Does that make sense? I think that's why this works. I think it's really the juxtaposition of the soft shape with the angular shape. So like I said, this is the outfit that got me into mixing prints and patterns, and I've been wearing this exact combination for so long. I was just starting to get sick of it, and I was playing around with my closet the other day and thought, why not add cheetah print in? Cheetah and floral are something that go quite well together. Cheetah and a stripe go well together, and so it made sense that it would fit well into this outfit, and personally I think it does, and it adds a nice little extra pop of interest. So not that the outfit was boring in and of itself, but if you wanted to kind of kick it up a notch, you could do this. And so I've got this leopard print belt, and I've paired it with these little leopard print flats. I think the belt is either J. Crew, I think this is J. Crew, and I think the flats are Banana Republic, and I was just lucky enough to find ones that matched reasonably well. So yeah, I think this is a fun little way to add my own personal twist on an outfit that got me into mixing prints and patterns. Okay, new combination. We have a graphic print top and a check skirt. I'm not sure if this actually qualifies as gingham. It's unclear to me if check is any like kind of square pattern, and if gingham is specifically black and white, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm gonna call this a check, also possibly gingham, and this is definitely like a graphic print sweater. So actually this is new season from Anthropologie. I almost never pay for anything full price at Anthropologie, but this one I was like, I want that sweater, I know I will wear it to death. It's like my new favorite piece of clothing. So anyway, I will link it below. This is from Topshop. Again, I got it at Nordstrom Rack because I love the rack, and if I can find it, I will link it below for you. I've just paired it with over-the-knee boots, just because I like more coverage and because they keep your legs warm. So this is obviously considered a monochrome look. You've got black and white. It's classic. There's no doubt about it. The colors go together. It's not a problem. I want to remind you of the idea of contrast. So I would say the skirt is almost a little bit lighter because of the gray. So I think this tends to be a little bit lighter in tone overall, whereas even though the letters on here are quite large, the predominant color is the black background, and so you do get that contrast of a lighter tone with a darker top, even though technically they're both black and white, and overall it's fairly balanced, I think, but you do get contrast in those like lighter, darker, so that's fun. This is a really good example of the principle of scale. I would say this is more of a medium to small check, probably like a medium to small check, and this is obviously a large graphic, oversized graphic. And so this idea of contrast, not just in the color, but also in terms of the scale of the prints themselves. So if I had a really busy, small graphic print up top, paired with a busy, small check on the bottom, it would create too much, right? It would be too busy and your eye would freak out and it wouldn't know where to go. Versus this, I have an oversized, large graphic, kind of spread out, and I have a small to medium size check. So there's that visual contrast in size as well as predominantly black, predominantly a lighter white gray. So think about the scale of the prints that you're working with too. So if you have a really small floral with a really small stripe, depending on like the color of the stripe, it might be too much. It might overwhelm the eye and create an unpleasant dissonance versus a pleasant dissonance or a juxtaposition, pick your word. So yeah, scale. I don't like pairing a small with a small per se. It would depend a little bit. I think, you know, color also comes into play there a little bit depending. Like maybe a pinstripe pant, like a vertical pinstripe pant with a small floral might be okay, but I think you would really need to make sure that then you had a lot of contrast in the colors. So these principles are there, but you really also have to play with your wardrobe. Anyway, this probably like my favorite outfit for fall. This season I'm probably gonna live in this if I can. On the weekends it's really not work appropriate for me, but it'll definitely be like my comfortable weekend outfit or going out for a weeknight dinner. I did feature this over on my Instagram a while back and in another video a while back, so if you're interested in seeing how I style things on the daily, I have an Instagram called Rainy Day Rags, and I posted this and I post a bunch of other outfits, including a bunch of the combinations you're going to see in this video. So go check that out, consider subscribing, and keep up with my daily outfits. And also check out a couple of my other videos. I'll link them up in the corner and at the end of the video and in the description box, so there are lots of places you can find them. But I do, in my vlogs, I often go through like picking out an outfit for going out that night, or I had a date night outfit try on. And so if you're interested in those things, I've got them in vlogs, but like I said, this is just kind of a different style video for me. If you're liking it, let me know. If you prefer vlogs, let me know. I might mix it up a little bit more, but we'll see. This is basically the same concept. I've just reversed it again to give you another example, but I really wanted to show you this one because it's significantly more colorful than I've been doing in the other examples. Few things to think about with this outfit, and particularly with color. I've brought in a yellow top that matches or like closely aligns with the yellow that's in the skirt. The black in the top also matches with the black in the skirt, and obviously I've paired it with some black booties. So there's like cohesion in the overall color palette of the outfit. Something to think about when you're thinking about color and mixing prints and patterns is, do you want to have a complementary color palette or do you want to have an analogous color palette? Those are the two main color palettes that people use, but you can go into like a lot more. You'd have to research color theory and all those things. But just think about maybe these two color palettes to begin with. Complementary is where the colors are across each other on the color wheel. So the yellow and the blue would be considered complementary, I think, something along those lines. Versus analogous, where you might have like a blue and a green next to each other. And those would be analogous. So I think this is like a great combination. I think I'm gonna wear this a lot this fall too. Very fun, much more my style. This is like business Kim. So let me know what you think of this one in particular. Would you wear this, or is it not you? It's a lot of look, I admit, but is it too much? Okay. This is, again, another one of the print combinations that I am loving right now. I used to rail against leopard print and think it looked really cheap and tacky, and then 3 years ago I fucking fell in love with it. So also Dior just put out a huge collection, all leopard print or cheetah print or whatever it is. So definitely not tacky and definitely very on trend right now. I've just paired it with the classic black and white t-shirt that I was wearing earlier. You saw that they worked in the belt with the floral skirt. This is just a much larger version. But yeah, I think this is a really fun casual look. I would need to figure out how to like hem these pants. They're way too long for tennis shoes, but I've just paired them with some Keds that are like really old and beat up for a very casual, fun look. This is a look I would definitely not hesitate to wear to work or out on the weekends or even on a weeknight, just grabbing beers with friends. But that's me. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not afraid to go for a lot of look. Here's a combination I really enjoy right now, the polka dot top with the leopard print pant. This is hitting on a bunch of the principles we've already talked about. You've got a juxtaposition in terms of the size of the print. This is a medium to small. This is obviously a small print. They're not competing for the eye's attention, but they are creating an interesting contrast. So I like that. The colors of the outfit work well together. You have this linen-y, like natural color top that works really well with the like warm neutrals in the pant, and also the black dot with the black like in the pant. So that's working in terms of the color. It's actually quite a neutral color palette overall, I think. A little on the warm side of neutral, but basically all the colors are neutral colors. I think this is a great like choice for if you're going to the office. You've got this cute little tie. You could also just tuck it in or do a French tuck. That would work as well. But this is how I think you could make leopard print very office appropriate if you wanted to. One thing I will point out, we talked a little bit about soft or round patterns versus angular patterns. Obviously this is a round with a round. And I think especially when you're mixing, I might have said this earlier, I can't remember already, but when you're mixing patterns or prints that are in the same vein, like the geometric with the plaid, that's when I think the scale difference becomes really important. You really need to offset those shapes by making sure that one is significantly different than the other in terms of the size of the print. It's that juxtaposition in scale that allows you to mix prints of the same, like angular with angular and round with round. So because we have a difference in scale, that's why I can get away with mixing a round with a round. Make sense? Okay, the last combination of the video, polka dot with a plaid. A true plaid, this is plaid for sure. And probably my favorite blazer in my wardrobe. I love this blazer to the ends of the earth. One of the best purchases I've ever made. This is from a brand called, it's either pronounced Affirm or AFRM. I got it at Nordstrom Rack. It's a couple of seasons ago, so I don't know that it's still there, but if I can find it, I will link it. This top is actually from Cezanne, and I know that they just released it again, so I will link to that in the description box as well. I think this is a really great combination for people who want to take a step into the mixing prints but aren't necessarily super comfortable with it. What I really like about having the blazer on top of the shirt, if you at some point decide it's too much, just take off the blazer and you just have a regular shirt underneath it. Sometimes it's nice to have that comfort when you're stepping into an area in fashion that you're not super comfortable with, just making sure that you have the option to kind of step back throughout your day. So take the blazer off. But also it works because you've got a large, probably a large scale print plaid with, again, the small scale print, so not competing in terms of the scale, like the scales complement each other. The color palette is warm and neutral. I've kept it warm and neutral with the accessories as well. And you get pops of color in this plaid jacket, which is one of the reasons I love it so much. So it keeps it interesting. But this is really simple. This is a very easy, wearable, mixed print, and it's not so much that they'll be like, wow, she's really going for it. It's just enough that people will be like, oh, it looks really nice. So yeah, this is the final look. I don't know what else to say. We've covered all the principles. Scale, making sure that the scale of the prints is complementary and not clashing or competing. That concept of pleasant contrast. So dark colors versus light colors, not being overwhelmingly dark, not being overwhelmingly light. Color cohesion, making sure that you're carrying all the same colors through, or if you are creating clashing colors, doing it in a way that is mindful of the color palette, either an analogous color, or if you're creating clashing colors, a complementary color palette, making sure you're understanding the way that color theory is working in your outfit. And above all, just make sure that you're enjoying it and having fun with it. It's okay. It's gonna take a while to figure it out. If you're interested in doing it, you're gonna have some hits and misses. But I think the more you play with it and the more you understand those guiding principles and the more you look to see what other people are doing, the more you'll like hone your instinct for it. I think this is really something where some people are very naturally good at it, but for the rest of us who maybe aren't as like naturally good at noticing these things, having those guiding principles of color palette, contrast, scale, those I think can really help hone your instinct and teach you what you need to know in order to be comfortable doing it. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did find it helpful, if you want to see more of these videos, if you have questions, please comment below, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, whatever you're comfortable doing. I'm enjoying making these videos and I just want to chat with people and enjoy a community. You can also follow me on Instagram. Again, I'm Rainy Day Rags. It's funny because it just started raining. So I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but yeah, it's now pouring outside. I am Rainy Day Rags at Instagram. I also have a blog that I'm not very good at keeping up with, but I'm hoping to put out a couple of blog posts on this. So do check there. If I have one up, I'll link it in the description box below, or I'll add it as I go. But yeah, consider checking it out. If you want to see what my daily outfits are like, definitely check out that Instagram. I'll talk to you guys next time. See ya.